Not what you thought it was.
Not at all.
Hey, Lennon.
Yo.
What do you got?
Well, I'm going to start off talking about the Kraken today, folks.
Kraken.
Yeah. Kraken.
DJ JJ on the ones and sixes.
Well, similar to a rap, we're going to start out my section with a poem. The poem comes from 1830. Below the thunders of the upper deep, far, far beneath in the abysmal sea, his ancient, dreamless, uninvaded sleep, the Kraken sleepeth, faintest sunlights flee. About his you can do it the whole time. I'm only a quarter of the way through.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, you're going to be out of breath, my guy.
Woo! Got me going again.
About his shadowy sides above him swell huge sponges of millennial growth and height, and far away into sickly light, far from many a wondrous grot and secret cell, unnumbered and enormous polypi, winnow with giant arms the slumbering green, there hath he lain for ages and will lie, battening upon huge sea worms in his sleep, until the later fires shall heat the deep. Then once by man and angels to be seen, in roaring he shall rise, and on the surface die. That would be from Lord Alfred Tennyson.
Thank you, Lord Alfred.
Tennyson.
He must have been Batman's trustest of advisors.
Yes, indeed.
Loyalist.
Oh, Lord Alfred. Got it. Okay. Well, the high seas, wide open water. Far as far, I wrote for some reason. And
far as the eye can see. Wow, that's far.
That is what it was, as the eye can see. The days of wooden ships and early instrumentation mixed with the unpredictability of deadly storms made nautical exploration a deadly undertaking. Now, don't get me wrong.
You're like saying riddles over here. You lost me. I'm a simple man.
Do I need to read it again for
No,
you?
you're good. You're good.
Now, don't get me wrong. Those sailors and captains were damn good at what they did. But in the past centuries, the early pioneers of long-distance nautical exploration and travel made the far corners of the globe attainable, and they did so at great risk from nature and the construction of their vessel. But is that all? For as long as mankind has explored the seas, stories have surrounded the mysterious waters that they cut through of massive beasts from the depths plaguing their voyage, or for some, the cause of a ship's downfall. Many monsters have been dreamed up by these early pioneers of nautical travel, and for most, just like fishermen, they grow out of proportion like a fishtail. One of the most famous and most common amongst all the different civilizations and stages of exploration is that of a massive tentacle monster. Legends of a massive tentacle monster wrapping up a ship into its grasp and crushing it or dragging it beneath the waves have been in sailors' nightmares since man began exploring the seas. The Vikings told of a legendary monster to be wary of.
The narwhal. Sorry.
That is said to hunt the waters between Norway, Iceland, and Greenland, where it is known to grab ships intent on eating its crew. If this failed, it would swim in a circle rapidly around the ship to sink it in a whirlpool and eat the entire crew from the water.
Incredible.
But what did this beast look like?
It had 2 eyes, a nose, a horn for some reason, and 60,000 circular teeth.
And
tentacles!
A pig nose.
Lennon, release the Kraken.
Over the centuries, many different legends and stories have come about. I thought of a bad joke. Have come about during this. Over the centuries, many different legends and stories have come about describing the sea monster with many different names. But one thing is common amongst all of them. It has massive tentacles it uses to grab hold of people or ships themselves. Art depicting the beast shows it has massive eyes to fit its large-scale body and a massive head from which the tentacles protrude from.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate to that.
Here's that. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. That's so good.
What's that?
So good.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't know what you're talking about.
As Lord
Ass would say. That bitch had nothing on me.
Fuck. As large as an island and an appetite that follows, the Kraken has long been a staple of maritime lore.
Oh, that means boats.
Wow. Yes, it does. You're good at this.
Yeah. Hit him with the facts.
Oh, fuck. Well, some are lucky to escape with their lives. Others merely spot the monster swimming through the water below. And others witness ships within their sailing party taken down by these beasts, according to legends.
Oh, the Titanic was one of them.
No.
Nope, not at all. If you want to know what happened to the Titanic, go watch Titanic.
All right.
Episode.
All right. Let's look at some historical accounts.
Let's do it.
Hey, let's do it. Nordic legends.
Yeah.
Some of the earliest accounts of the Kraken can be traced back to Viking lore. In 1180 AD, King Sverre of Norway
Oh, he sounds important.
wrote about some many sea monsters.
Whoa. Sorry, I was itching my head and my fucking hair went everywhere.
All good.
Let's tuck that back in. I don't think that's any better. I really don't.
Not better.
That's fantastic. We're going to leave it for the rest of the episode.
You look kind of kooky.
Yeah. Whoa, guys. Whoa.
Are you fixing it or leaving it?
What?
You leaving it?
I'm going to leave it for the episode now.
Fantastic. So King Sverre of Norway wrote about the many sea monsters he encountered in the waters, but most significantly due to its size and terror,
Yeah.
he told of the Kraken.
Release the Kraken again.
He wrote that the beast was a monstrous squid-like creature and that those who sailed the water should be careful and alert to the dangers that face them.
I don't think they had those type of horns back then. But no. I think it was just a guy with a peg leg up there on the what the fuck's that thing called?
Crow's nest.
Crow's nest. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh God! Old one-eyed Willie up there, fucking doing noises again.
Viking longboats were different, but yes, I'll accept it.
Oh,
I'm right.
There's those things that they stood in front of that they said, "Hey, could we just go back to your story because I don't know what I'm talking about."
Great. Another Viking encounter appears in the Icelandic saga Orvar Order.
Oh,
From
Orc and Orvar.
From the 13th century. The saga tells the account of two different krakens, Hafgufa, Sea Mist, and the Lingbakker, Heatherback. Norwegian educational work, Konungs.
Oh, I thought I had the fucked up words. Take it back.
Konungs.
This is a conundrum.
Gugska. In it is told about the habits and
Gugska.
danger to watch out for when dealing with the beasts. It is described that Sith style, there could only be two. This was due to the feeding habits necessary for a creature of that scale's survival.
Sith style, not Highlander style. There can only be one.
Yes, no, there can only be two. There's simply not enough food, and they could not reproduce. There's not enough food for them to survive. For more than two to survive.
If they can't reproduce.
I don't know. See, this the Konungs Skugska,
The conundrum.
is a Norwegian educational book.
Yeah.
So,
What kind of fucking education are they doing?
well, they're teaching about this. This is also the same book that we learn the way of which it feasts upon us tiny humans. Grabbing them and their vessel, or when all else fails, create a whirlpool and drag them into their turf.
Yeah.
One of the more, moving on from that, one of the most detailed descriptions of the creature comes from a Danish historian in 1755 named Erik Pontoppidan.
Or Eric von Liechtenstein. Eric Pontoppidan.
In his book, Natural History of Norway. In his book, he paints a picture of the beast from history's accounts of the beast among sailors. He describes the beast as a round, flat, and as round, flat, and full of arms or branches, quote unquote, and the largest and most surprising of all the animal creation. This comes from talking with several fishermen who heed warning of sailing out more than a few miles to sea from the Norwegian coastline, lest you fall victim to the deadly Kraken.
No!
In his book, he describes it as such. Here and there, a larger rising is observed like sandbanks, on which kinds of various on which various kinds of small fishes are seen continuously leaping about till they roll off into the water from the sides of it. At last, several bright points or horns appear, which grow thicker and thicker the higher they rise above the surface of the water. And sometimes they stand up as high and as large as the masts of mid-sized vessels.